What a fantastic play!
Absolutely incredible.
What a fantastic play!
Welcome to VP4 TV. We have live streams from all the major championships held in VP4 online. On many occasions, I'm also joined in the commentary booth by virtual pool game developer Steve Chaplin. I am Tactical Genius, aka 9ball.com, aka Hugh. Welcome to VP4 TV. We have live streams from all the major championships held in VP4 online. On many occasions, I'm also joined in the commentary booth by virtual pool game developer Steve Chaplin. I am Tactical Genius, aka 9ball.com, aka Hugh.
Where's the cue ball going?
Oh dear, outside, never mind.
The trouble with Scotland is that it's full of Scots.
Oh dear, outside, never mind.
We don't make mistakes. We have happy accidents.
Your assignment tonight is strategic. You can't give the enemy a break. Send them to hell.
When things look bad, and it looks like you're not gonna make it, then you gotta get mean. I mean plumb mad dog mean. Because if you lose your head and you give up, then you neither live nor win. That's just the way it is.
Are you hearing anything now? Well, I suppose I did type in that chat window, but it's difficult to read with all my shit in front of it. Anyway, welcome, folks. Apologies for the delay, but we are here in time. We have the last of the round 3 matches in the 2026 Virtual 9-Ball World Championships. And it's between, of course, the two old foes, Albinario from Sweden, Cobra from the UK. I actually started the live stream first time around, and I don't know whether anybody actually caught onto it, but the camera was all weird, and I didn't know what it was. So to kill the stream, I had to go into YouTube. I'd actually accidentally switched on 360-degree live streaming, whatever the hell that means. I'd hit that slider by mistake. Just as well I noticed that, so I had to sort that out. And then all of my shortcuts disappeared earlier today, so I managed to fix all of that. And then I forgot about my mic mute. It had defaulted as well. Anyway, I think we're good to go. Going to be a close one with these two, the usual story. We've got one more match on the schedule, which is the one between Coke 626 and Interchange X on the one loss side tomorrow afternoon at 2 p.m. British Summer Time. I'll be there for that. So this is the last match in round 3. The winner will play Acero in round 4, and that pretty much sums it up as to where we've got to. This room should be going up if it's not already up. The both of them are in. They're probably lagging off. And there we go. New camera position, as you'll notice. This camera position is actually one of the default choices in VP4, which is above and down table from the rack end of the table. And I've also managed to put in my second camera from the other end as well. So welcome, everybody. And the light bar is going across already. Well, who's going to give us the predictions? Right, well, there's the first one off the bat. And Matt thinks it's 1916 to Cobra. Yeah, you could toss a coin either way, couldn't you? I'm not predicting anything. I'm just hoping it's a good, close match. And I hope it finishes within 2 hours, because I've got football I want to watch. The light bar isn't blocking the view. It's only covering the top end of the table because of the camera position. I'll worry about that the next time round. In fact, you might have a point there. Hang on a minute. Just bear with me a second, because obviously I never tested it with this new camera view, but let me just change something. Hold on, see if we can change it. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to go over there. And right click. I'll be back with you in a second. Don't panic. Do not panic. Going to try something else. Reserve aspect ratio. Say no to that. Say okay to that. Hold on. Hold on. Where the hell's the centre of this damn thing? There it was. Trying to find a centre line. It's a purple line. Right, it's my mouse that's moving too quick. Hold on. This would bust your bloody head, this. That's it. Just lock position now. Hang on. Right, you can complain again, but I'm not changing anything else. Right, back into the game. I'd like to reduce the number of lines in the chat. Down to 1, like that. That's it, down to a minimum. It's down to 1 bar. Oh, welcome to Tam. Yeah, I've had a lot of pissing about in the last half an hour with this XSplit. And then, of course, I'd forgot that when I changed my camera settings in the game, I forgot about my light bar across the top of the screen there. And I had a look at it, and it was impeding the top yet because the camera's at a tighter angle. Right, anyway, where have we got here? We're still in the first rack, so we haven't missed anything. Oh, this is a bit of a dodgy cutback. Yeah, that was never ever going to be a gimme, so that's the first rack going this time. And, well, this is Albinario going to win on his break as well, so Cobra had a chance to pinch it there, but left himself really awkward in the 6. Welcome to Yamaguchi Taru. Welcome to Bedhead. I never noticed you there. Well, it was Bedhead that was complaining about the light bar. And the quicker you get the light bar filled up, the less I'll keep reminding you of it. Remember, that's a new deal. We would it full the last 2 streams since I put it in. So just get that bar right across and then no more mention of it for the rest of the match. So, first blood to Albinario. And the usual, looking for the follow-up. Red 3 ball drops in. No shot in the 1. Now, where's he going to push here, I would wonder. Quick look. I wonder if Cobra's going to take the bait. Of course it pots. Of course it does pot. I mean, there's no doubt about that. The other thing is that, you've got that 2 ball in wide open space there, so he's either going to have it into the side pocket, left side, or into this bottom corner pocket past the 7. And Cobra had a go at it. These are 2 tough angles he's had to deal with there. And Albinario, he wins out that battle. Yeah, you don't want the first couple of testy shots to be the ones that Cobra's just had, because they're bloody they were probably 50-50 at best. Well, he's not gone high enough. I'll tell a lie. My bad already. I forgot. I'm too busy looking at the 5, the 6, and the 9. I forgot about the 4. Well, he's got a little nudge in the knuckle there that's done him a favour. Just checking it up. Stop it running into the 6. So this is not the start that Cobra wanted, but no panic. Couple of dodgy cuts he's had to try and deal with.
Where's the cue ball going?
Well, it's going to stay in the table. Now, draw back over to the left. Well, a draw and a stunt. 2-0. Well, people will be at their dinner over here, and in certain parts of Europe as well. So we might get a few more in as the match goes on. And another thing as well, folks, I am back to Ultra What is it again? Ultra low latency. So it's the shortest delay between me seeing it on my screen and you seeing it on YouTube, rather than messing about what I did the other day. That was a bad experiment because the on-screen captions didn't work anyway. So that's something that XSplit has added, but I have never yet got it to work. So we'll give up on that idea for future streams. Well, Cobra's having a go at a long-distance combo there. And if Albinario can find the gap, in fact, he might not even need to find a gap, but he wants to come down between the 5 and 7, and that's perfect weight, I think. And it could be, it's going to be a tough evening for Cobra. I'll be having a quick look at the 3. It's got most of the pocket. It could be a tough night. Oh, aye, that's right. Matt said he was going out winching. There's an old-fashioned Scottish word, or an old-fashioned one. I think they say wenching back in the day, but we say winching. Well, we've seen matches in this tournament where there are twists and turns. You know, Cobra needs to get in first. That's his problem. He needs to get in and have control of the table. Well, obviously the wife's watching this because there's no way we type "I'm happily married" any other time. She's probably looking over his shoulder. We all know that's the deal. Oh, aye. Well house trained. Well, what happened there? I think it was dry from Albi, and look at what Cobra's got. Now, how many times do I say it? Look at the table. It's all about the cue ball, and he should be out. I mean, this is join the dots. Virtual pool 4 fashion, this is. Oh, engaged, I read that wrong. Oh, but you can still, okay, you can still play the field, mate. Get stuck in there. Keep her on her toes, that's the other way to do it. Keep her on her toes. Well, the light bar is creeping ever so close, slowly. I think that's 2. I know you were inconvenienced at the beginning, folks, with that little bit of messing about and pissing about with the settings and stuff, but, you know, don't hate me for that. Just be glad I'm actually mostly awake at the moment. Oh, it must take a wee while longer to update then, or I'm not understanding the. I'm guessing it's 2 likes. I haven't the foggiest idea what it is it's saying. It's still not 12 likes, so I know that. I think this is just slightly the wrong side of the 7 by the look at it from this angle. He's just heading down table a wee bit, I think. Yeah. But no problem. So ideally, he wants a nice break, a ball and a shot to follow this and settle the nerves. Well, maybe the bar's buggered as well. It wouldn't surprise me. So Cobra breaks new ground, gets 1 rack on the board. All into the side. Oh, nice little nudge onto that 5 ball by the 1. And it once again, just what the doctor ordered. Sitting plumb in the 1. He's got to decide, though, whether he's got a short enough, a shallow enough angle to just come back and get something onto that 5 just to hope, and he has done. That's worked out nice. The 5 ball just controlling the cue ball that wee bit. I think he's ended up too straight on the 3, though. He's absolutely rock solid bolt straight on this 3, so he's only going forward or back. Now, if he goes forward, he's in the gap. He's going to be further away from the 5. Now, you really want to get into this cue ball a fair wee bit, but you don't want to somehow find yourself dropping into that side pocket, and he's not even risking that. He's staying well clear of that old trick. You know, getting into the cue ball too much, he drops on the side. He's just deciding to take his medicine, leave the long 5. Just a little drawback with enough angle so he can drop up on top of the 7. He might be ending up too straight in this as well, or has he gone inside? No, he's fine. So far, so good in this follow-up rack. Oh, the bar's caught up now. I see it's streaking across the bottom of the screen. He might be too straight in this 7 ball as well, so just a straight draw back out for the 8 into the other side. Now he needs to hold up here. Yeah. So the stresses reduced dramatically, having been 3-0 down. 2 little stomach settlers. Rack number 6 to follow. Now that might have been the 5 into the left side pocket as we look. And he may well have the 1 into that same pocket also, I think. Let's have a quick look from his end. Well, if he dinks the 1 in, goes to the rail and comes out, he's on the 3. The 2, I don't see a problem here. I think he's more concerned about the 7. We'll have a look at that in a minute. But this just needs to be popped in, cue ball off the rail and out. Right, quick look. I'm not convinced you can get in there. Can you hit that ball first and then hit the 9 and still cheat the rail? I'm not 100% certain. It's very tight. I don't even know whether you can get it from this side if you're actually, you know, see if you're there with the cue ball. That is beyond the borderline, I think, that 7 ball. We'll soon find out if he's going to do anything crazy. Well, he's going to duck for cover, I'll tell you that. That's what he's going to do because he's over. He may well have played to get a nudge there and he didn't get it. And probably relieved that he didn't get it, so now he can play a safety. You don't often see Cobra taking risks because, you know, there was never... It wasn't good odds he was going to have any sort of shot in the 4 had he actually hit them, provided that's what he was actually attempting to do. But I'm just going by the fact that he's overhit the shot to the 4 ball by quite a margin. So the assumption is he was playing a breakout, but, well, he's playing a 2-way shot here, going for the bank and ducking and diving. He's left the cut into the side, though. Albie will have a quick look. Yeah. So the cut is on. But again, I'm not convinced he's going to be able to get out of here with this 7 ball. Again, this is nowhere near a gimme, this shot either. Completely blind. You just got to visualise the hit point and play it. And, of course, Albinario nails it. Now, what's the angle he's got? Well, He's certainly not going into the side, and he's certainly not breaking out the 7 and 9 ball. That's a guarantee. Tell you that right now. Well, he's not thinking of doing some crazy acrobatics here. That 6 doesn't go into the side. So he's trying to run this into the corner. That was a big ask. Now, I don't know whether he can just chip that in and use a bit of spin to try and get across and get a nudge if he feels he has to. He's looking at the 7 from where he is as to whether he could still pot that there like that. Still not convinced you can. So let's see if he's going to try and get the breakout. Gets a nudge. Oh, would you believe it? Has he gone and hooked himself? Of course he has. Of course he has. And he doesn't get a roll. And now he's in trouble. Yeah, that's exactly what I would have done, Bedhead. I think it was, you know, you're always relying on luck that you're going to get a roll of the ball. The more guaranteed shot was nailing Albinario behind that 9. Well, he played the jump. Now he has to get distance, and he's going to have distance. And this is by far nothing simple for Albinario. Don't care what level of player you're at this distance, these are dodgy at the best of times. And not only that, is the fact that look at the line that the cue ball's kind of taken off that 7 ball. It sets the warning bells ringing. Is he going the other way? Is he cutting it in from the left side? Yes, he is. Well, a great effort.
Where's the cue ball going?
And the cue ball goes south. And Cobra can breathe a sigh of relief, because within the next minute, he should find himself back on par. Talking about par, the Open Championship starts on Thursday morning, 6:30 a.m. Well, the first tee off 6:35 down at Royal Birkdale. It'll be about the 100 and whatever it is, 140 odd, 150th, I don't know. It's somewhere around that. It's been on for a few years. So here we go, take 2. Let's start all over again on an even scoreboard. So again, for any latecomers, the winner of this match will play a Zero from Japan in round 4. And Cobra's break, something I think again went into the side. He's got a shot in the 1. The 2 ball's going to stay alive. And again, at this level, there's only one thing going to happen here. And Cobra, in the next 2 to 3 minutes, could find himself in the lead from 3-0 down. Well, I don't think he'll do much more than maybe just stun this in and nip across the top of that 8 ball. But he needs to get away from it. He doesn't want to be interfering with it. And he's well away from it. So now, doesn't really need to do a great deal with the cue ball. The cue ball wants to head the sort of direction it would normally go. He might be just checking it a wee bit, just to kill that line off the rail a bit. Maybe not. Maybe that was fine. Looked as if he was maybe touching a dab on it, but anyway, he's landed perfect in the 4. And I would assume he's going to head up that left side below the side pocket. He could come out to the right to play the 5 pass to 6 the other way, but he's he's overhit it to go and play it in the side. Well, whatever works is what counts. 1973 was 102nd. So that's what it is, 150 odd, isn't it? Welcome to Bankster. I hope you're using Google Chrome if you don't speak English. Use those live captions. Well, Cobra, there was never a panic, but you do start to panic the longer you go on without getting a rack in the board, but he's more than redressed the balance there. And he's now 1 rack in front. 155th open. Yeah. That when I used to play that PGA golf game years and years ago, I used to be young Tom Morris. That was my handle. So whenever I was kitting him out, he had tartan on, he had the bonnet on, he had the +4s on, everything. And that was the game that actually was a predecessor to PGA golf when Tiger Woods and all that was involved in it. The EA Sports bought over the technology from the game developers at PGA Golf. Well, I'll show you how long ago I had it because it was in a big cardboard box, the jewel case when I got it. I used to play in Casey's Ladder. I used to download dozens of courses. There were some brilliant golf courses on it. All the major golf tournament courses around the world. And then that was it. It got smothered by EA Sports. So it did. Paul, you mean Paul from the Philippines, Paul 24 or whatever his name is? Are you talking about Cobra? I think you're talking about Cobra, aren't you? Anyway, we're talking about Albinario now because he's either going to try and run this cue ball to get below the 4 or he's going to take his medicine and leave the combo. And he hasn't got there quite. He hasn't got there. He's left this way short. He wanted to be another foot across the table like there. But again, he's got a margin of error because as long as it's the right pace, he's not going to miss it. Well, Cobra's going to find himself back all square. It was one of the original courses was Prestwick. I think it was one of the first. But, you know, the Open Championships far outgrown what Prestwick could deal with. I mean, the town couldn't handle the Open Championship. You see how bad it is at Turnberry. Whenever they have it at Turnberry, it's a nightmare at Turnberry because it's, you know, when the Open Championships went there 90 and 100 years ago, there was no traffic like what there is now. Nothing like that. Now you've got all the razzmatazz with every bloody TV company in the world coming over and cameras and, you know, thousands of people coming over. It's a global event, the Open. It is a good day out, but it ain't cheap. Let's put it that way, and it's not getting any cheaper. Well, there's the combo on the 9. A quick response from Cobra, and he's back in front. It must be, I'm guessing, more than £100 for a ticket now for a day at the Open. It's sold out anyway because I already checked it earlier today just to see how things are going. There are tickets left, but it's hospitality tickets that are left. You can get your ticket in, but you also get a seat on the fourth hole in one of the stands and all of that stuff. That'll probably cost you £200 to £300 for the day. But those big corporate tents that they sell it. They're the first things that sell out, and they're thousands, tens of thousands of pounds for the corporate ones. But they pay the money. Yeah, they want to keep the scum out of the golf. So they do. But I managed to get in a few times. Been to St Andrews, don't know how many times, 3 or 4 times. Saw Jack finishing his final round at the Open Championship. Saw that one. Saw Lee Trevino at his last Open Championship. He started off, and I was at 6:30 in the morning in the stand at the end of the first green. You know what St Andrews is like. It's just a big open wide fairway for the 2 holes, for the first hole and the 18th. And Lee Trevino in his final Open, he hit his drive, came down, and hit his second shot straight into the Swilcan burn, and that was the end of him. That was him gone. So, an inauspicious end to Trevino's golfing career. And I went to Carnoustie a couple of times as well. Saw Payne Stewart before he actually got on that plane or whatever it was that killed him. Saw him. Oh, I mean, there's no way I would go to any football game up here, let alone a Premiership game. No way I would pay that money. I'm talking about the days when I paid £1 to get in and 10 pence for a programme. That's what it was like when I was going. In fact, you never had to pay to get in. You just got a lift over the turnstile when they had the normal low turnstiles. Nowadays, you can't even do that because the turnstile goes right up to the roof. Now, they've got that all sussed out. Of course, that was another reason you got 130,000 in Hampden. You know, 90,000 of them were paying tickets. The other 40,000 were all getting leftovers. How much did that cost you? Again, that'd be well over £100 to go and watch that. And all you see is, I mean, you see more in the telly than you're ever going to see sitting in the bloody stand. Well, Cobra, in the meantime, is looking to try and stretch this lead. Gap is going to go to 2. And meanwhile, the likes marker is going along, well, certainly beyond halfway now, I would suggest. I suppose if you're going to get the full shebang at the Grand Prix, that means that you pay big bucks and you get access to the pit lane, you know, prior to the race and all that stuff. I bet you that costs a pretty penny. So, Cobra breaks off in rack number 11. The 5 ball is gone, shot in the 1. Probably around the corner and out the back of the 4 by the look of it. No, he's checked it up just to stop it running around the corner. I think he's actually finished fairly straight. I mean, he can stun this in. just nip across a wee bit. At least it must have been too straight because he's. I think he might have been expecting that to drift over to the right a wee bit. He might have been caught out a wee bit there. So now the problem is he's got too much angle. Well, that's why he ended up playing the bank. And that was the one guaranteed solution. He was going to be not running into any other balls. If he just played that the way it was, he would have ran round into the 6 and 9. And who knows what would have happened. Now, all seems fairly straightforward here. So Cobra is now effectively... what's that? Out of the last 6 racks, Albi's won 1. I can't count already. He's going to be 3 in front, that's all I know. I better have a drink. No, welcome to Hazard. I take it you're well away from any wildfires and any crap like that happening. Because the forecast for the next week's pretty much the same in terms of weather. It doesn't look as if it's going to break too soon, so there'll be places there'll be I haven't heard anything mentioned up here so far, but we've been dry. We haven't been anywhere near as hot, but we've been dry, so I'm surprised that the heather's no burning. We'll have something like that getting mentioned soon enough. And last year when we had fire, we did have fires up here. I got up one morning, stuck my nose out the door, and the first thing you could smell was the burning. Oh, 42 is that's crazy. That's burned to death temperatures, that. You can't stay out in that very long. You just fry and dehydrate like a bloody kipper. Like a dried bit of fish flapping in the breeze, going out in that temperature all day, let alone doing actual work. That's a killer. Well, again, you've got to ask the question, where's this going to go wrong? And this is what you're talking about. This is the highest level in Virtual Pool 4. Out of these 2 guys, there's nobody else has the consistency or the control or the results that this pair of guys get. So you're watching the upper echelons of Virtual Pool here. So it's cutthroat. It's deadly. And at the moment, from that, slow start, shall we say, Cobra's hit the ground running. And he's now won 8 of the last 9 racks. And another ball in the break. Oh, no. Well, not quite this time. He's looking to see if he could jab that and stay there, but he's got too much angle, I think. Yeah, but he's got a line of balls to hide behind. And that'll do the trick. So the fact that this one ball is out as far as it is, there's a lot of room behind it. Well, Albie didn't spend an awful lot of time looking for the line there, did he? He didn't give that so much as a second thought. He just had a blast at it. Looking at the table up here, you can't get to that 6 ball. So Cobra could get crazy here if he has any sort of angle where he could maybe just pot that and stun into the rail and get a bump and hope that he's still on the 3 ball. Well, he may well be trying that. If he goes forward with a bit of spin, he could just maybe try and split them, but he has to hit them enough to move them out the way. Unless he's just going to leak through the back end. No, he is. He's just getting out. Well, the longer he waits, the less of an opportunity he's got of breaking these out. Now, again, he could take a big risk here and try and run into them and still be in the 5. Which he's doing. And he's worked out perfect. So that was the right time to make the move. And Albinario, well, maybe if he'd given a wee bit more thought about that kick that he attempted there, he might have come out with a better response than he did. He's just running too far. He's going to be hampered. He's going to be hampered big time. And that's annoyed him. Because these are really fiddly, because you're moving the Q-tip on the cue ball, and you can easily move it off centre if you're going to jack up or do anything like that. So he's going for the thin cut in the side. And all is good. Well, that's what it looked like. That you know, he's thinking maybe getting a bad deal, but I mean, you got to give it 100% focus, and not just have a blast at it without setting yourself. I'm sure he wasn't thinking when he was 3-0 up, this is going to be good tonight. You know, somehow or other, Cobra was going to get a rack in the board at some point. But now it is definitely feast time for Cobra, making hay while the sun shines. It's 9-4. And the shoe's very much on the other foot now. What have you got, Albie? And Albie says in the chat he thought it was a race to 3 when he was 3-0 up. All right. Well, it's a race to 19, and Cobra's not quite halfway yet, so there's still time. And no sooner than that, Cobra has scratched the brake. Albie's got his chance. And now has to hit the ground running, as they say. There's no room for manoeuvre here. This early on in the match, he's got to find his way back in this now. Is this the best move he's ever going to make? Well, it is, because he's nailed it. The 1-9 combo. You want to get the racks as quick as you can on the board, and that's one way of doing it. But you need the follow-up. 3 ball on the side. Oh, disaster.
Where's the cue ball going?
The cue ball's followed it in. Oh, dear. Well, there you go. We've seen every side of this game, what happens to you. Oh, welcome to Vertical Liquid. Well, it was 3-0 to Albie at the start. And he's now trailing before. Now, we need a quick look at this 2 and 9. Oh, he's got the little rub in the 2. Perfect. Perfect. Now, I think he wants to get out of there and get up the table a fair bit if he can. Just like that, because you want to be able to be playing this under control. You don't want to mess with the 5 when you're potting the 4, and that's fine. He's well away from that. Well, my question is have we got another hour and a quarter left in this match? Because only then will it be interfering with the first World Cup semi-final tonight between France and Spain. And maybe Cobra's got that going on in the back of his mind. I think he wants out of here as quick as he can. Just a wee bit worried about the side pocket here. But again, that angle there was totally deceiving to me because I didn't think he could draw back. The angle looked like he wanted to go to the long rail on the left there. So it did. Well, 10-5. There most certainly is a crisis on here for Albie. He has to get his foot in the door, first of all. France beat Spain 4-0, you think? Well, I say this about all of these countries, you know, they've got devious ways of staying in matches, and, you know, the dirty tricks business is going to be well in hand. Keep your eye out for that. They're all at it at this stage in the tournament. And the Spaniards are just as good as the rest of them at it, if they have to. Well, Albinario, the comeback starts here. Again, a table that is a must. There's no other option. And he's just overhit that. Now, the worries is 7-ball. I mean, I know this looks simple. The worries is 7-ball because now he's got to come around, or he's got to hit it soft to just finish in the gap and make sure. And that's exactly what he's doing, because that ball gets inside your head when you're sitting there playing like he was. Now this needs to get up high enough. So he's not been perfect, but you don't have to be perfect. You just have to get out. And now we know what he wants next. He would like a little bit of help on this break. Just a little bit of help, a ball and a shot to make him think things are getting a wee bit fairer for him. I mean, when you think about it, Albie's not made many errors, if any. It's just the way the breaks have gone. Cobra's get in. Albie's got a ball in the side. Cue ball stays in the table now. Well, this will be an ambitious 1-9 combo. This will be very ambitious. That looks as if that 8-ball might skim a chunk off the 1-ball. Oh, he's nailed it. I mean, never a doubt. That was a beautiful shot. But that's exactly what he needed. You know, a nice quick rack like that as a follow-up. And now, you know, the scoreboard does not look half as bad. And another ball has gone. And he's on the 1. Or is he? What ball's that there am I looking at? Is that the 9? No, that is the 9. He's on the 1 into the side. And has he got the line to drop down for the 2? Well, this is just tricky. He's just got to watch he doesn't overhit it and still hook himself behind the 9th. And he's well away from that. Needs to bounce, so. Well, now what does he do here? He's just going to rub off the 9. In fact, he's missed the 9, so that's even better. Well, there's a lot of travelling to be done here. Now, if he does play around the corner, let's have a look. See, if you go forward and inside behind the 9, the tricky part is the 7-ball. That's the worry about that shot. I think he's coming back the way. Well, no, he's just decided he's going to leave the bedhead cut. Yeah, again, when players... this is the thing. If you see the danger, then you have to take evasive action. If that voice in your head is telling you that 7-ball's a problem, you don't want to mess with it, then you have to then maybe accept maybe a more challenging shot. Because the challenging shot here is getting to the 6-ball. I mean, less than what the 4-ball is. Now, this looks perfect. If it just goes through the gap, he's perfect. And it isn't. I thought he was going to go through the gap there. Well, I think he's just going to tickle this and duck. And that was the right thing to do. The danger, though, well, that 7-ball's actually a blocker as well. I was going to say that if he gives this a good smack, he might kick it in, but he's actually covered that way as well. Yeah, nothing like a change. In fact, I'm thinking of doing commercial breaks in it as well. Just to annoy people, especially if Romario's here. Now, he's going to get this 8-ball and 9-ball.
What a fantastic play.
Absolutely incredible.
See, that's going to be annoying. He did kick it in. I was too busy reading the chat. And that's painful for Cobra, for Albinario, sorry. There's that line of balls that keep annoying me. Where's the cue ball going? The cue ball's gone south. Albinario lives again. Well, he's going to have to take full advantage. Let's have a look. I think everything goes here. They're all separated, so there's no any issues there. Usually there's a ball married to the 9 and it'll only go into the side pocket or something like that, but they're all fine. Stadler and Waldorf, that's the Muppets. I had a Muppet album, believe it or not, that I'm not embarrassed to admit. I think I got it for my birthday years and years ago, a Muppet album. In fact, I think it was a Muppet album 2. Yeah. That ended up in a skip at the council. Well, this is still not cut and dried, this rack here for Albie. And that's why, that is exactly why. Has he got away with it? Well, Cobra might think I wasn't expecting to get back to the table here, and he might give this a blast. He might give this a blast because I think Cobra's probably given up in this rack. Well, he's not. He's going to run to the long grass. And, well, that's a good shot. There's no way he's getting through there. Again, what she doesn't kick the back of this for. That side pocket's just threatening to be in the way, I think. I think he's okay above it. I think he can get it above it. And he's hit the back of it. Oh, that's perfect. If it keeps running, is it going to run into the gap? Oh, dear. Well, it looked as if it was going to get to the rail, but it's fallen short. And Cobra's ready to strike. You'd a Benny Hill LP. Well, a lot of Benny Hill's comedy was visual, so I don't know what the hell you got for that album. Or was it just a lot of his songs on it? Aye. Ernie drove the fastest milk cart in the West. That's a great shot. How's the rub? How's the rub there? Oh, it's no good. It is no good. Yeah, this is fiddly. What the hell does he do here? Is he looking for the 2-railer? Well, he was in the Banks tournament. He's looking for the two-railer, I think. Well, if he plays this at a certain weight, he could maybe use the 7-ball as a blocker if he doesn't get it in. I think that's maybe what he's thinking here. Commentator's eye. Well, he hasn't hit it. If that's what he's intended to do, he's left it short. So Albinario is going to get another go. And I think this is last chance saloon in this rack for Albi. I don't think he's going to get another look at this. We're still short nose likes, folks. I'll keep reminding you until it's full. We're still short on them. There's enough people here to get that filled up in the space of 30 seconds. Where's the cue ball going? Is this going to get there? No, it hasn't got there. And suddenly, it's become a chore, this rack. He's going to have to make the cut. And this ain't a gimme. But right in the heart of the pocket without a second thought. And he's edging ever so closer. 3 behind. I don't think anything's going, though. Well, he's left a cut in the 1. The 2's not got a clean pot. That 8 ball's off the rail. Well, a bit of work to do here right at the start of this rack. There's no doubt of that. I mean, this is far from simple. He's got the combo to make. And the 3 ball is blocked up past the 4 on the left-hand side. It's blocked by the 7, so he has to get... And now, how's it? Is it blocked by the 6? It's partially blocked by the 6 as well, so he's got limited choices as to where this 3 ball's going, by the way. He's got to get good in this 3 ball. This could be the stumbling block in this rack if he doesn't get there. So he's still got to get this combo. First of all, we're jumping ahead of us. In fact, he squeezed it in. I didn't think there was enough room there. That was a great shot. Well, I think he's accepted the fact that this ain't going, so it's going to be the combo. I did not think there was enough room. Mind you, only had a quick glance at it, but I didn't think there was enough room to get that ball past there, but he nailed it. Yeah, I think his odds were cut dramatically in the amount of pockets this 3 ball could go in, so I think he's made the right choice. It's still not a guarantee he's going to get it, but he's given himself a shot at it. Yeah, it could be a big switch in the match here, but he's, again, that was the glimmer of hope that Albinario had right there, and that is very quickly snuffed out. Right into the heart of the pocket, sitting very nicely on the 3, and the rest is history in this rack. So, we are rapidly approaching the first hour in this match, and it's Cobra is going to stretch that lead again. I think he's just going to roll this 6 in. I can't believe he's going to stun this at this distance, because all sorts of crazy things happen with these pockets if you don't get them lined properly. He might just roll this in. I think I would. I don't think I would risk stunning it. I would just take the 8 ball at distance. I'm bound to have a shot in the 9. Yeah, he's just doing the sensible thing. Yeah. You know, you stun that, you're only stunning it to hold the cue ball and stop it running away. But when you stun it, if you just get that slight bit of spin on it and you hit it offline, it catches those knuckles. They don't go in. So, as long as he gets up high enough, he'll be good to go. Well, again, although he's not quite at the comfort zone angle, that's good enough. He's never missing that. Well, Albinario's chance at getting back into this match has just been stalled at the moment. Well, what could have been different there had Albie won that last rack. Now, this might be dry. I don't think anything went in, and I don't think that Albie's going to have a shot anyway. And he ain't. I think he's annoyed at the fact he's not got a shot. He's not got a shot. He's not pleased. But them's the breaks. You just got to deal with it. Now, he can overcut this one ball, right? This is overcut the one ball to there and hopefully send it behind the four, spin the cue ball up with right English and come down here. That's a shot because you can only see half of the one ball. So if you overcut it, the worst thing that can happen is you bump into the four and you leave the one on. In fact, he's decided just to play the push out, which I suppose is the sensible one, but it might be put back in anyway. Cobra might call his bluff here. I think Cobra's just dragging it out and dragging it out. He's going to put him back in. No way Cobra's taking that on. You see the shot I'm talking about? You thin cut that, overcut it to there to get to there. You put right English in the cue ball to kick yourself down the table. Well, Cobra's found a better idea than mine. Oh, has he set up a combo, though? Has he set up a combo? He certainly has. He certainly has. Oh, there might be just enough to squeeze this cue ball around that too. Because if he gets anything on this one ball towards that rail and the five's going in. He hasn't hit it. I think the reason he hasn't hit it is because he couldn't get enough. He couldn't get enough into the cue ball to get there. And Cobra's having a quick look. And Cobra might take the bait here as well. I think he is. I think he's having a go at this. No. He's just making me look a fool.
Where's the cue ball going?
Oh, well, that's got Albie in a whole heap of trouble. The cue ball stays on the table. No shot to get to that one ball. He's going to have to try and tie something up here. You're not getting to that one. I mean, you could try squeezing around the 3 to the back of the 9 to try and get a hit there. He's having a look to try and convince himself, but he is doing the right thing. Well, actually, he hasn't hit it, has he? Has he hit it? No, that's no good because he's not tied it up. But that was the general idea there, to try and tie a ball up and force Cobra to have to break something out. But, that just shows you what a good safety could do for you in a match. Just at the right time. But the 3 balls clean and it goes. He's going to have to get himself out into the table. There's plenty of room to do that off the 1, although I think he's just a bit straight again. Well, he's left that a wee bit short as well. Cue balls want to go up into the top right-hand corner. He's got to make sure that he stuns this in. Now, the right shot here is the stun, because you don't want to just let this roll out and somehow find your way behind that 4 ball up there. And that's why he played the stun shot. Now, is that bar right across the screen yet? I'm getting up to a quick look. No, it isn't. We're still short. Come on, guys. Tab out for a second, hit the like button, and then the bar goes across and we're done for the day. Help that YouTube algorithm for us little small fry channels. It's not a lot to ask. This looks perfect, by the way. Perfect little angle. Just to get up into the table. So the one thing you don't do is leave it short. You've got to get up high enough. Even if you're up past the side pockets, it doesn't matter. Got to get up there. That'll do. Just a quick stop and he's on the 8. Well, is Albinario going to find a second wind here to get himself in this? But he needs to regain control of the table. I don't think there's been an awful lot of dry breaks. I mean, we've maybe had 2 maximum, I think, but from what I can remember, not a lot of dry breaks. And of course, commentators curse. What have we got? A dry break. Well, that's what Albinario needed. And it's going to be a long 1-7 combo. And he's got to play this to stop the 1 ball leaking away. Oh, now, has he let it leak away too far? No, he hasn't. I thought he was maybe going to be partially covered by the 2 ball there, but he's okay. So, you know, this is why, particularly in a 9-ball tournament like this, why dry breaks are so punishing when you get deep into the tournament, because if your opponent's got a ball and a shot, you can sit yourself down and get ready for the next rack, because you shouldn't be getting back to the table. I hope he's got a wee testy one here, though. Well, again, this should be a little stunning, just so that you go down to the 6 ball rather than rolling down. What the hell's Matt doing in the room? He was in the bloody stream. What's he doing in the room? Have I bored him enough? Is that what it is? Anyway, is Albi on the comeback trail again? He could do a couple of quick ones. Well, the ball thought about it in the side, but I think this is deja vu for Albi. Oh, a 5 ball's going in. 5 ball up top. Shot in the 1. He should be on the 2, but the problem is then what he does after that 2 ball. Oh, you've been in the room for the start? Well, I tend to only move the camera when I want to look at an angle. I don't want to keep moving it all the time, because I think it's annoying with the camera fiddling around all the time. But I mean, straight pull, I actively tell people I'm going to be moving about an awful lot more, looking at the stat. But, well, there's Albinario's chance come and gone. Now, Cobra could get crazy here if he can get out. As long as that 3 ball stays there, well, the 3 ball's going in, and he has got crazy, because that could have went badly wrong there. He could have actually done what he's done and been hooked in the 3 had it stayed in the table there. He took a big risk. But there, I mean, he might think he's going to get away with a few today. And none better than when Albinario has just missed a combo. You can certainly drive the first nail into his coffin with this rack being pickpocketed from him. This is going to be a sore one for Albinario, because it's a big swing. He'd have been in double figures, and now he's going to be 5 behind again. I think Albinario might already be planning his revenge later on in this tournament. And he's saying, not often Albinario says a great deal in the chat, but he says, so bad today. And of course, Cobra being Cobra, he's not there for the conversation. He's just carrying on with what he's doing. So 14-9. Three ball goes in. One ball in the middle of the table, but the one ball doesn't have a clear pocket. Let's have a quick look at this. Well, I mean, there's plenty of room for ducking and diving here with the cue ball. The problem is getting the one ball somewhere where you're not just going to give them a free shot to return the favour and bury you. Well, he needs to get there, and he's got there. And Cobra is twisting the noose on Albi. Could certainly kick the one ball. There's no problem kicking it. It's what the roll of the ball is going to give you after the hit. One other thing I did in Virtual Pool 4 is I turned the brightness up to 8. The brightness goes up to 10 where it's all washed out, but I turned it up to 8. I used to have it at 7, but I've turned it one notch higher. Well, Albi's giving a lot of care and attention to this shot. Uh-oh, so much so he's disconnected. And Albi's had that happen 2 or 3 times. I always thought Swedish internet was so bloody good. Unless he's pulling the old Control-Alt-Delete technique just to break up the game a wee bit. I never said that out loud. But he's definitely left the building. So he has.
What a fantastic play.
Absolutely incredible.
And he's back. And it's a foul. And it's ball in hand for Cobra. I think something's out of sync here. It says Albi's arrived, but I'm not 100% certain he's all there. We'll find out in a minute. We'll find out in a little while. Because it could be I've gone out of sync, because it looked to me that he just fired the cue ball straight into the pocket. Yeah, I think I'm going to leave the room at the end of this rack just to make sure things haven't gone pear-shaped. Quick look at the 6-7 combo. As long as he gets anywhere half decent on it, it's going to go away. He shouldn't have any issue. Well, I would have much preferred to be out there than here playing this. I would have much preferred to be out there. Well, it goes in. And Albi's chances are just beginning to diminish ever so gradually, slowly, but surely. Cobra's stretching away. And now he only needs 4 for that matchup with Acero. Well, we're 45 minutes away, or just about 45 minutes away from the first World Cup semi-final between France and Spain. Kicks off at 8 o'clock British Summer Time. That's 9 o'clock Central European Time. 3 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. 2 o'clock Central Time. Noon Pacific Time. I think I got that right this time. I think most. I mean, I'm beginning to wondering how Albinario ended up getting 9 racks. I mean, he had a little spell, but it's been strange. I don't think Albi's done a great deal wrong. You know, he's not made a lot of howlers that I can remember. But he's probably thinking he's been hard done by one way or another. But I suppose Albi's a bit like the rest of us. I mean, if you're not quite on par and you're coming up against somebody like Cobra, everything's going to be exaggerated. He's just going to take whatever chances you get, especially those dry breaks as well. They don't help your cause. The worst thing you're getting is dry breaks at this stage of the tournament because you know the score, you're losing a rack pretty much. Well, is Albinario going to get to double figures? That's the question we ask. Well, it's not the first time, I hasten to add, for our viewers, that this has happened in probably this event before, where Cobra has done Albinario, usually quite heavily, and sent him to the one-loss side, only for Albinario to come back from the one-loss side and do him again and do him in the final and get revenge. I mean, that wouldn't be a shock. But Cobra's break, of course, and this is the other thing that sort of winds you up a wee bit if you're Albinario. Cobra's broke dry, left absolutely nothing on for Albi, and all he had was a push out. That's another thing that doesn't help your cause when your opponent's coming up dry, but he's still ending up not giving you anything. But that's the way 9-ball is. Yes, it's frustrating. Cobra heading down to the long grass. This could be ugly. This could be ugly. Well, it could have been uglier than that, because I think he's left an edge. I think this will pot. Well, here's a big ask for Albinario. A huge ask, but again, at this stage in the match, I don't think he can turn this down. He's got to have a go at it. He's overcut it. Now he needs to get a roll of the ball. And this time, he's got it. No problem with Cobra hitting the one. If he hits this one right, it might squeeze along the rail and kick the 5 in. It's a bit tight, but there is that possibility. He's got to hit this flush right on the nose to keep that on the rail. And this really would hurt Albinario if this ran. Well, he's trying to roll dead weight to it, I think. Well, he's got that wrong. Well, that's a big bit of a howler there from Cobra. He's judged that completely wrong. And, well, the 4-ball goes. Everything goes. He's just got to get this cue ball going in the right directions. So I'd expect him to take this out. Well, I have to say I'm disappointed, guys. That light bar is stalled. Or at least it has on my screen. I don't know what the count is on the actual stream page, but according to this, it's stalled short. There's at least 2 or 3 likes missing there. At least 2 or 3 of them missing. Well, Albinario trying his damnedest to get to double figures. Not a lot of racks to play with either. Well, he can come back the way and out for the 9 into the same pocket. So Cobra with a 6-rack lead. Albinario breaking in rack number 27. Ball on the side. Oh, no shot in the one, I don't think. No. Now, that one's well off the rail. This is a difficult one if you're thinking of playing a push out. If only because the one ball's right off the rail, it's nowhere near stuck to the rail, anything like that. And the other thing is, if you play it into this corner here and leave, has he covered enough of it? I think he has done, has he? Maybe Cobra might think of trying twisting this and having a go at the bank. I don't know. Or is he going to give it back to Albinario and call his bluff? Well, Cobra's maybe being wary of that situation and think, oh, he has given it back to him. So this is a very thin edge to try and get well away from that one ball. Try and use the 2. He's played that well. Now the danger now is this could get kicked in. Oh, he's missed it completely. I mean, that was a big target, that one ball. And a surprise, Cobra's missed it. Albinario says in the chat, can't get a shot. I don't know when he typed that. When did he type it? A couple of minutes ago, in actual fact, he typed that. Just as well, I've got the timestamps on the chat. So let's look, see where the problems are. Well, the 3 ball is tight. It is tight. And at that angle, it's so easy to overcut this and catch an edge of that 9. He hasn't got a big margin of error here. This is tight. He's nailed it right in the heart of the pocket again. Well, all I would say to that vertical liquid is you just never know. I mean, the thing is Albie's at the table, and if things start happening for him, he could quickly get 3 racks back in the board. He'd still be trailing by 3 or 2, but it just changes the whole perspective of the match. Suddenly, Cobra might start getting a sweat on, but like I said, you know, things have to go. Everything has to go in Albie's favour now. Any more racks that he actually leaks here, and he is definitely done and dusted, but Cobra still needs 3. And if you're in Albie's shoes, you can only live in hope and just keep playing the game and see what happens for you. Well, he's got a ball. And again, where's that 9 ball going? I'll tell a lie, it was a cue ball. So he's got a shot in the 1. Well, he ain't going to have much going in the 2, though. He's going to have to, again, just take his medicine. But that 2 will go in off the jaw if you dare to play that. He's got a tight angle here. It is very touch and go. He's got to play the 2-5, surely. He can't be trying to squeeze that past the 5. He's dragged all the pace off that shot there and killed it. Played it very well indeed. I never left the room, by the way. I said I was going to leave the room and come back in because this scoreboard could all be weird. We could be looking at the wrong thing here. I'm definitely leaving the room at the end of this rack just to be on the safe side, because for all we know, it could be 15 apiece here between Albi and Cobra, unless Matt's still in the room. I think it's always best when I'm streaming to leave the room and come back, especially if a player's disconnected and rejoin, because you never know. Yeah, well, I mean, you have to say Albi's odds in getting back into it are not great. Let's make that clear, because it's rack money and it's difficult to start with the rack being higher up the table. But, you know, you just have to start at one point. So that's another rack in the board. Right, we'll see the break, and I'm doing a quick bailout and back in. See if anything's changed in the HUD. Ball in the side. Right, leave room. Oh, hang on, wrong thing. Leave room. Romario's playing Spectre Dodge, so Romario's engrossed with the match. Right, there we go. And it's still 16-12. And Albinario has another long combo, which again doesn't look all that difficult. But you can tell Albinario is fully focused now. I mean, there's nothing better to make you fully focused than you're having. Well, he hasn't hit it this time. Now, you see what I said the last time he played the similar combo? He dragged the pace off the shot and controlled the cue ball. There he actually killed it altogether. And he never got the initial momentum into the first object ball. So he blew it there big time. That bloody helped things up on the screen. Yeah, he blew that big time. That's a big mistake by Albi. And that, I'm afraid, is exactly what you want to steer well clear of when you're in Albi's situation. Well, we won't be here long, Jose. You'll get plenty of time to watch the football. Good evening. And we're still short on the like buttons, folks. I told you I'd keep asking you during the stream. And we're still short of the mark. And it hasn't even changed in the last half an hour. Well, I think every English supporter is going to be supporting Spain tonight. I think most of them would hope that the Spanish can pull one over, and the French will be the favourites, no doubt about it. Well, somebody else is still to hit the like button, because it's still not full, and we've not got much time left to be doing it. Well, Cobra is going to be 2 away. Try break. Shot in the 1. 2's up by the 1 ball in the middle of the table. Just a stopper. And the 3 ball is in this end of the table, so the cue ball's going to want to go in the same direction towards the 3. So he's good to start with here, Albi. Again, the angle he had there on that, he's come back too far. He's come back too far in this too. And now he's having to play the bedhead cut angle. And look where the 4 ball is. Now that 4 does go, but my God, if he's ever going to come down, I mean, the angle he's got he's trifling with a scratch coming up the left-hand side on the short side of the 4. He is most certainly messing with a scratch. Now he's trying to get into the spot to play the cut, and fair play to him, he's got there, but this is hard work. This is all hard work to try and stay at this table. Now he's hoping for a bump, I think. Or he's hoping not to scratch.
Where's the cue ball going?
And he's avoided that. Well, so far, so good. On a knife edge here. And I think if he gets good on this 6 ball, that'll be him. He'll be out. Oh, welcome to Interchange X. Good evening, good afternoon. Well, it's been a bit of a grind for Albinario. He's threatened to get back in it, but it's not taken any firm grip at all. It's very quickly snuffed itself out. Well, at one time there, it was a struggle to get to double figures for Albi. What's he done here? What's he done here?
Where's the cue ball going?
I bet he's hooked himself. Has he stuck himself behind the tit? Oh, I'll tell you, he's very close, but I think he's fine. That could have been a horrible mistake, and of course he's actually twisted the cue stick. He's actually put English on it there, jacking up, and he hasn't double checked it, and that's why he missed that by such a margin. You see how he just quickly jacked up there and hit it? Well, the problem with jacking up quickly is you're moving the tip off centre probably, and that's why he ended up missing the 8 ball. Well, Cobra has been very consistent. Marginal errors he's made, and not a lot that Albi's made, but there's been the dry breaks that Cobra's feasted on. But I don't think there's been a great deal of difference, but you know, Albi's been chasing Cobra's tail since he was 3-0 up. Albi was 3-0 up at the start. So if Albi could have kept that momentum going, it might have been a different story, but Cobra got back in it, won about probably, I think, 7 or 8 out of the last 9 racks early on to get right back into the match and take the lead. And since then, that's what it's been. It's just been Albinario trying to reel him back in and never really getting there. So now we have Cobra on the hill. No shot in the 1. 8 ball has gone in the break. What's he looking to do? Trying to get right into the back of this. That hasn't worked out. So here's Albi's chance. He was trying to get that way up the table out of the way. Well, this might be another consolation rack for Albinario, just to sort of make the score that wee bit more respectable. But it does. It's the big turnaround just simply has to happen, provided Albi can get out this rack. It just has to, everything goes his way. Oh, thank you very much, Mooncake. Yeah, we're still short of the mark. And likewise, Cobra still short of that 1 rack. How long can Albinario keep himself in this match? Well, this isn't good. This is far from good. He's overhit that by a huge margin, or he hasn't hit it hard enough, one of the two. But if he plays the cut, he's heading that way, that way, that way, and coming in the short side, unless he leaves it short to play the cut from like there. You know, to play the cut along the rail, because the way the cue ball wants to go, is follow that line and end up on the short side. I think he's going to try and just leave himself short to play the cut. And that's what he's done. He could have done with getting a wee bit further up if he could, but quick look. It ain't tight to the rail. He's got to bring the cue ball back into the table. On commentator's eye.
Where's the cue ball going?
And that is it, folks.
Hasta la vista, baby.
And there you go. Albinario leaving the cut. He should have been higher up the table. He maybe not a scratched, but he didn't risk it. So Cobra pounces, ball in hand on the 9, and the rest is history. So a comfortable win, really, at the end of the day. Maybe not at the start for Cobra, but he sure settled down once he got himself back in level par from 3-0 down. And Albie's never felt this frustrated. Well, there you go. You saw him the way he played that kick shot earlier on in the match where he just had a blast at it. He didn't set himself up. He normally gives all those things a lot of care and attention. But anyway, there's always another day. He can get revenge, and revenge is sweet, remember. So that now leaves us with one match on the bracket, on the schedule, sorry, if nothing else had been added. Well, tell a lie. All sorts of things have been added. We've got the match tomorrow afternoon with Coke and Interchange X, and that's at 2 p.m. tomorrow. I'll be there for that. And then we've got Bankster German Potting Machine. That is on, what day is tomorrow? Tuesday, aye. So tomorrow, we've got that match. Then we've got Wednesday. What time is that? Let me have a look. Is it some bloody weird time? 4:13. Who the hell makes up these? And then lastly, we have Larry and Silent But Deadly, and that's Friday at 8 p.m. And I'll be there for that one. So all those matches, well, 2 of those matches have gone on in the last hour or so. So that's moving the tournament on. So if you can't be there to join us for those matches, remember they'll be on the playlist for this tournament that I've got on my YouTube channel. So well done to Cobra. Strong performance as ever. Shaky start, settled in, got the job done. Albinario will be looking to better himself on the one-loss side. And of course, there's a lot of traffic in the one-loss side as well that Albie's going to have to deal with if he's going to survive. So good luck to him in that. Thanks for watching, folks. What time is it? Well, we've got 20 minutes or so to get a cup of coffee, cup of tea, get settled, get the football on, and get your fingers crossed if you're back in Spain, because you might need to do that, Jose. Maybe need to get the rosary beads out tonight, because the French should be the favourites. So till we meet again, folks, I'll bid you good evening, and we'll see you again soon. Take care. Good night.
Good night, ladies.
Welcome to VP4 TV. We have live streams from all the major championships held in VP4 online. On many occasions, I'm also joined in the commentary booth by virtual pool game developer Steve Chaplin. I am Tactical Genius, aka 9ball.com, aka Hugh.
No bar, no pinball machines, no bowling alleys, just pool. Nothing else.